everyone. Welcome to the Cagesiders. I'm Jeremy Long, along with my co-host, as always, the coach, Angelo Reyes, known online as Asian Bocephus. That guy, yes, he's back.
Now listen to me, Cagesider fans. See this Warrior gear I'm wearing? I'm wearing it all year.
He's not lying. He's going to wear it all year. I don't think he washes it. I think he sleeps in it. He eats in it.
For true
like a
Warrior
child.
fans who've suffered through Latrell Sprewell choking out PJ Carlesimo to Chris Webber coming to us, but we have to give up all our draft picks. We rise, people. We believed and we're there now. Now we're the best team in the world.
There you go.
And LeBron, stop complaining. You created the super team, LeBron.
You, Jed Jones's dad, pops right over here off camera, and Danny Tanner are the really only true Warrior fans out there. So congratulations to the Warriors.
Oh, and speaking of which, they were here in Las Vegas watching Ward Kovalev fight. Kevin Durant winning the ring and everything. Congratulated Andre Ward.
Yep.
So what did you think of that fight? I was there. I saw it.
Surprised.
Andre Ward wins by KO or TKO. Tony Weeks stops the fight on body punches. The controversy that everybody's talking about right now is, did Kovalev get hit low? So let me ask you, Jeremy, who got to watch it. Did he get hit low?
You know, from the angles they were showing, the repeats, things like that, it did look like it was low. But again, I'm not Kovalev. I don't, he wasn't hitting me in the groin area. So I don't know. Did they connect? A lot of people say Kovalev looked like he was looking for a way out anyway, and so it didn't really matter. It still does. You can look for a way out, but if you get hit in the boys, you're still getting hit in the boys. Now, did it happen? That's up to the ref. That's what the ref is there for. They can. I know Kathy Duva.
Yes.
From Main Events was very upset.
Yes.
Cursing everyone out.
Yeah.
Go girl power, all that. And we love Main Events and everything. And they plan to appeal, but it's not going to get overturned.
No.
It's not. That's just. I know you're
Par for the
upset,
course.
but honestly, it is what it is. So my question back to you is Andre Ward. Now, seals the deal, gets a TKO victory, undefeated and everything. Where does he rank currently? Is pound for pound wise?
Well, Max Kellerman said that right now, Max Kellerman believes he is the best pound for pound fighter in the world. I loved Andre Ward's performance for this fight because right from the get-go, you could tell both athletes were at their best, and Ward really showed a lot of different plays and a lot of different looks, and he really showed how good the craft of boxing can be, especially for such a heavy, they're 175 weighing in, but they're probably walking around closer to 190 come fight time. So some of those jabs, I could feel it from where I was sitting. Andre would hit him with a jab and Kovalev. So I think I can't say that Andre Ward is the best pound for pound fighter in the world, although I would be able to argue that he is the best pound for pound fighter in the world. At this point, he's already proven that he's one of the best. So unless he's going to get paid McGregor-Mayweather type money, it's hard to say, well, what's next for Andre Ward? Because I don't think he would make all that much money if he was to fight Adonis Stevenson. So in my opinion, maybe Andre should just retire at this point, or retire on top, undefeated, or maybe fight Conor McGregor.
Oh, my God.
I'm just
What, do
kidding.
you work for the UFC now? What is
kind
this?
of.
We're kind of off and on, No, don't do that.
No,
come
I'm
on.
just kidding.
Because what weight would they fight at, number one?
I'm messing around.
They fight at 170?
Like Andre Ward would destroy McGregor. McGregor wouldn't even last like a round with Andre.
So last week's show, it wasn't confirmed yet. We're going to talk a little bit more about this now confirmed fight between Floyd Mayweather, who's coming out of retirement, and Conor McGregor in just a little bit. But before we do that, this past weekend was UFC Singapore. Holly Holm kicks Bethe Correia upside her head.
Man, and it was cool too because it was Bethe Correia was like taunting her to come forward and come and fight me. So Holly Holm was like, all right, threw a little fake, stepped back, did that beautiful little Winklejohn question mark kick, boom. Knocked her out. Gave her even a little hit right after, like just so you could feel.
That wasn't
it,
a little one. That was an uppercut from hell. Because Bet Correia looked, she was on her butt, and she looked like she was asking a question, like asking permission to ask. She was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And Holly Holm said, "That uppercut, that's what's going on."
That's true.
Knocked her out. So, the thing getting thrown around real quick, coaches, is this the return of Holly Holm, or is this just her doing her thing against someone who has no stand-up whatsoever?
Look, man, for me, I never thought she left anyways. I thought that she beat Jermaine Durandamine. I thought that Jermaine did hit her after the bell. That's just me. So I never really thought that Holly Holm was doing poorly. I mean, she lost to a great Misha Tate, who's a great grappler, by submission. But after that, I didn't think, Holly ever really left us. So, no, I'm glad you're back on a winning streak, Holly Holm, and I would love to see you fight the winner of either Amanda Nunes versus Savchenko or the winner of Cris Cyborg versus Megan Anderson. That would be a fun thing, right?
Oh, yeah. That fight also was made in between episodes and everything. Cris Cyborg finally gets her due. Megan Anderson gets brought up from Invicta. And
we talked to Scott Kent a little bit about Cris Cyborg.
We talked to Scott Kent a little bit about this, right? Yes, we do, or we will in the next episode. So when we come back from break, we're going to have Lion Fight CEO and President Scott Kent in studio with us, talk some Muay Thai, some Lion Fight Muay Thai. Stay with us right after the break. We're the Cagesiders. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Cagesiders. I'm Jeremy Long, along with my co-host, as always, Angelo Reyes. And we're joined in studio by one of my favorite guests of all time. I love having this guy
on
our show and everything else. Scott Kent, CEO, President of Lion Fight Muay Thai. Scott, thank you so much, man, for joining us.
Thanks for having me back, guys. I love it here. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's exciting, right? We get to talk Muay Thai. We get to talk Muay Thai on the Cagesiders.
Kicking people in the face, just
Elbows,
like Holly
knees.
Holm. Holly Holm just did to Bet Correia.
That's true.
The last UFC. Ouch. But this is more on a serious level. I love Muay Thai. I didn't experience, and I'll say this, I didn't experience Muay Thai live until Scott invited us out.
Oh.
We got to sit ringside.
Yeah.
Incredible
fighting
event.
that night,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
I believe so. And I'm still getting used to the stars, the names, and everything else. But I never miss a Muay Thai now on AXS TV. And you guys have a wonderful event coming up here in July, out of state, out of Vegas. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, we're back at Foxwoods, July 28th. We're excited to be back there. The East Coast has really exploded with Muay Thai. This card's extra special. We've got Pechtanong Banchemic. Guy's had over 400 fights. So when's the last time you heard of a fighter that's had 400 fights? 345 victories. He's a legend in Thailand. He's going to fight the American star Joe Nadawat, originally from Thailand, for the title. So it's a fight that's got a ton of international buzz about it. We're going to see where Joe is at. We're going to see where Pech is at. That's going to be an amazing fight. The co-main event, we've got the two top American stars at 185, both undefeated, Paul Banasiak and Chip Pollard, a former MMA fighter that's come back to Muay Thai. So a lot going on this card.
Wow, and you know what's cool is, like, when I think of Muay Thai, and again, it's like when he said, how many times have you heard about fighters with 400 fights? Well, I always have to bring up Lomachenko, because I get a nickel every time I say the word Lomachenko. But it's like boxing, where if you're a real Muay Thai diehard, you'll understand that there's a huge market and fan base for it globally. And you, Scott, you're the one that's bringing it to the United States. Again, like you said, it's in the East Coast. It's starting to pick up. When do we get to see it again, though, back here in Vegas? Anything?
We hope to be back in Vegas here by the end of the year. We're looking to do a show in California in September, which would be a huge show. We've got Lurdsila, who just fought in Foxwoods, a devastating knockout, fighting Sergio Wilson for the title. And then we're back out at Foxwoods again at the end of September, which would be Cosmo Alexander and Reagan Ursel, which is a big rematch. A lot of people are looking forward to that. Reagan Ursel's walked through everybody. He's like 8 straight knockouts. He's been amazing. So You know, we've always had the business plan of looking at the great international fighters. We've been able to bring over the Yods and Clys, Jarina Bars, these great Asian and European champions, and then coincide that with building our own American fighters, giving them an opportunity, giving them a stage on TV, which it's never had before. And I think that has a lot to do with the success. AXS TV has been a great television partner. They do a great job, consistent, you know, top quality shows, and it's really allowed Lion Fight to become the premier Muay Thai promotion out there. So we love it. We get fans every day from all over the planet trying to get on, fighters trying to get on a Lion Fight card now.
Right.
Yeah, no, and you know what, and this is something we were talking about kind of off air, and I want to bring it up on air, because I know in our show, we always talk Mayweather-McGregor, Mayweather-McGregor, Mayweather-McGregor. And I've even gotten some pretty harsh hate for just plain saying the truth, that because this is a boxing fight, and because Conor McGregor, who is not a boxer, is going into the sport of boxing, don't be surprised if Floyd Mayweather knocks him out in 3 rounds or some crazy thing like that. Now, everybody will look at me and they'll be like, oh man, that guy, Asian hillbilly, he doesn't know what he's talking about, right? Okay, but here we have Scott Kent, who has Cyborg, who I believe is the baddest woman on the planet, especially when it comes to MMA. She's amazing. I love Cris Cyborg. She went into a Lion Fight, title match, 5 rounds, 3 minutes against Jarina Bars, who I believe was the champion. And will you tell us, Scott, what happened in that fight? Straight up Muay Thai rules. What happened to Cris Cyborg?
Yeah, Jarina dictated the fight. She destroyed her. And Cris Cyborg wins an MMA fight 10 out of 10 times. But you're dealing with a specific set of skills that a guy like Floyd Mayweather, undefeated, 49-0, he's fought tough guys, he's fought big punchers, his boxing skills are second to none. You know, you always hope the Rocky story, you know, for those wanting Mayweather, he's going to be able to bully him. But I think Floyd's been bullied by just about everybody. I think it's, you know, and again, you look at the footage of the fights, the training footage and that, you know, it's an event, it's entertainment.
Right.
But I don't expect much of a fight, and I think it's clearly a fight Floyd Mayweather dominates and wins. So
See?
I'm not going to go out on the thin ice there. I think that's pretty much a general consensus. But that seems to be, you know, a pretty safe bet for us. Right?
As you mentioned guys like a Cosmo Alexander, who did dabble in MMA. You know, I remember being at his fight, his first professional fight, MMA fight for Bellator back in the day, I think against Josh Quayhagen. But, you know, he fought him. But you guys, we kind of talked about this. You don't really want guys that are from the MMA world stepping into yours. You have a platform for Muay Thai fighters, and you kind of want to keep it that way.
You know, yeah, I think there's so many MMA promotions out there. You've got the UFC, you've got Bellator, you got everybody else. And there's a lot of opportunity for those fighters, and that's great. We support that 110%. I want to focus on fighters that are committed to Muay Thai. I want the fighters that appreciate the tradition, appreciate the cultural nuances of what we're doing, that are committed to being stand-up fighters. And I think what you saw over the last several years is there was so much money in mixed martial arts that a lot of Muay Thai fighters ended up fighting MMA because there was no platform. Right. There wasn't any money. Right. Now we've got the network with our partners in London, our partners in Australia, where we can take a lot of these American fighters, give them that international opportunity, give them opportunities to train in Thailand, and really appreciate the sport and buy into what we're building. And again, we're trying to focus on those fighters, give them a platform that they've never had before in the United States.
Yeah, that's awesome, right? And this is, and again, like you said, Scott, you guys are keeping it Muay Thai. For people, what's the best way, if I'm a common fan and I want to know more about Muay Thai, what's the best way for me to find out? Do I just go into lionfight.com and then you guys are explaining the rules, or is there a particular site I should go to so I could see, well, what are the rules of true traditional Muay Thai?
Yeah, you can go on the Lion Fight website, lionfight.com. There's a ton of information out there on the internet about the history. It goes back centuries, a great tradition. And people always ask me, what's the difference between MMA and Muay Thai? And I can, you know, break it down and saying it's only stand up, it's elbows, knees, kicks and punches. That's it.
Well, there
Pretty
you go.
awesome,
yeah.
right? One last thing before we do let you go. Malapet, I think, what's the weight that Malapet fights at?
He fights around 147.
Okay, so even at 147, let's say Malapet went up to 55, and Conor McGregor went into Muay Thai lion fight for straight Muay Thai lion fight rules against Malapet. Who would win that fight, Scott?
Malapet would win that fight.
See?
Come on.
I'm a
Stop
Muay Thai
hating
guy.
on me.
Again, you can look at, Diaz, who's is a good stand-up fighter, but he's not in the Floyd Mayweather, competition. Again, if it's a stand-up fight, Malapet's going to beat. I've had a lot of UFC fighters that come to our events and say, "There's no way I would get in the ring with the odds and Clyde with these guys."
Right.
They understand it as professional fighters. This is their specialty.
So you
There
see,
you go.
so for the common fans that keep ragging on me and Jeremy when we're just telling the truth,
Don't drag me into
I'm
this.
dragging you into this, buddy. You just heard it from the man himself. We love Conor. We think Conor arguably could be the best pound for pound MMA fighter until DJ comes back.
Until DJ comes back.
God, but no, man. On straight up Muay Thai, wouldn't happen.
So Lion Fight 37, I believe.
Yes, sir.
37, right?
Yep.
July 28th. You can watch it live on AXS TV. We love Andrew Simon. Thank you so much for doing our show, Andrew. And thank you so much, Scott, for joining us in studio. And I can't wait for you guys to be back here again in Vegas.
We'll
So
give you
I
a
can-
heads up. We'll get you guys down in front again, and you can get the blood and all the sweat on it.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know you
last
guys
time
like
it was
that,
all
right?
over me. I loved it.
All right.
There you go. We'll have Scott. We'll have you back in the studio before you guys come back too, as well.
Thank
all
you,
right.
guys.
Thank you so much. Stay with us after the break. We're going to have more from the Cagesiders. Hi everyone. Welcome back to the Cagesiders. I'm Jeremy Long, along with my co-host as always, Angelo the Coach Reyes. Well, I said that in reverse, right?
Yeah, you did.
Usually it's the coach, Angelo Reyes. I don't care. You know why? Because you went on MMA Junkie and you said some stupid crap.
What?
Now, the world of McGregor fans out there hate your stinking guts.
Me and Max Kellerman.
They hate you both with equal passion, equal fervor, and I enjoy it.
Okay.
Find him. He's at Reyes Striking on Twitter, Instagram, and I
Reyes
think
Boxing. Reyes Boxing on Instagram.
he's on J-Date.
No, I'm definitely not. That's our producer, Ari. He's like, shit.
So, okay.
Okay.
Mayweather-McGregor gets made. A lot of opinions are out there and everything.
Super
You
exciting.
gave yours. Repeat to our fans out there what your opinion is on this fight.
Okay, so look, here's what happened, guys, right? I'm on MMA Junkie with our friend George Garcia and Brian Garcia goes. Thank you for having me on, guys. It was a fun 2 hours of me, George, and Goes with comedian John Orlando, son of Tony Orlando, all talking about Mayweather-McGregor. And within the context of that 2 hours, John Orlando decides to tell us that he 100% honestly believes McGregor will knock out Floyd in 3 rounds. Now, guys, I can't just let that go. I just can't. So I went on record and I said, you know what? Put this on record. I believe Mayweather's going to knock out McGregor in 3 rounds. And I was just having fun with it. I will not rescind the statement, Jeremy, because this is one of those times where, again, boxing versus boxing. We had Scott Kent earlier on our show today who saw Cris Cyborg go into a lion fight for Muay Thai, and Cyborg's the baddest woman fighter in the world. She's bad, man. She beats everybody. But she did not beat the lion fight champion of Muay Thai in Muay Thai. Just the way it is. When you're playing the rules of the sport of boxing, unless you guys want to prove to me that Conor has some proof that shows he can actually even contend with arguably the best fighter we've ever seen in boxing, yeah, I'm kind of going to stick to my statement that I believe Floyd Mayweather can knock out Conor McGregor in a boxing match. And if you want to hate on it, go to Cagesiders.com and tell me all the reasons why I'm wrong. That's what Jeremy wants you guys to do. But at the end of the day, Jeremy, you tell me right now that you don't think Mayweather can knock out McGregor.
I don't think it.
Yeah, that you do not believe it's a possibility that Mayweather can knock out Conor McGregor.
Anything is possible.
Okay.
Anything is possible. We've seen stranger things. We've seen stranger comebacks, things like that in fights. But I don't. I don't think McGregor
But who are
can
you
do
picking
this.
to win?
I'm picking Mayweather.
Okay, and how badly will Mayweather beat McGregor?
Oh, he's gonna beat him to death.
See?
We may see a murder in the ring,
See?
and it's not funny. This is just a, like you say, it's boxing versus boxing. Okay, and we haven't seen anything so far from McGregor's camp or from his workouts or anything else that indicates that he's brought anyone into his camp that even knows and can replicate what Floyd does. And there's very few that actually could give you a good look on what one of the greatest of all time
Right.
can do, especially the greatest of this generation,
Right.
and arguably the greatest defensive boxer of all time can do.
Right.
Yes, McGregor has a great left hand.
Yeah.
Yes, whatever other facts and figures you want to throw at me, but we're not talking a scrub who's also 0-0.
Yep.
We are talking Floyd damn Mayweather.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway,
that's all we're saying. And here, let me just say this before we go to our next commercial break. I'm sure McGregor is talented in so many different things. He probably has a good singing voice. Can he out-sing Beyonce? I don't think so. But all we're paying for right now is to see how close he can come.
there we go. Stay with us. After this break, we're gonna have a little bit more from the Cagesiders. Welcome back to the Cagesiders. Jeremy Long, along with the coach, Angelo Reyes. Coach, we got a great event coming up this weekend, and actually, Bellator NYC pay-per-view 4A, and Bellator 180, which directly precedes it on Spike TV Live on Spike TV. And we talked to Scott Coker, CEO of Bellator, right?
Yes,
President,
did.
CEO of
The
Bellator.
man, the boss man.
The guy, the mover, the shaker. We talked to him on the podcast, Cagesiders podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn. Go to Cagesiders.com.
You guys really should. It was a great talk with Scott Coker. He told us about the past,
really
about
did.
women's MMA, about Bay Area, and how he grew up as a martial artist. It was great. It was great times talking to Scott Coker.
Yeah, it really was. And, this is a great card. One, the free portion you get has, Phil Davis and Ryan Bader as the main event. It goes right into the pay-per-view, which features Fedor fighting Matt Mitrione, the bad guy, Chael Sonnen. Wanderlei Silva fight. And then, of course, you have Michael Chandler and Jason House. Brent Primus is on the card. So, the card is well worth the money if you do that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, and you're not going to have to pay $100 for this one, guys. I'm actually very excited to see how well Aaron Pico does. He's been training out at a wildcard gym for his striking, and Scott Coker told us that this kid has been an amazing wrestling prodigy, and they got him when he was 17, so we're excited. I'm excited for Bellator 180.
Yeah. 180 and for NYC.
Yeah,
they combined them because they
Yes.
originally, he tells us all, on the podcast, they were going to do it anyway. They were going to fight in San Jose, being Fedor and Matt Mitrione.
Right.
Of course, the whole thing happened with the kidney stones and everything. So thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you for everyone here at the Action Channel and Cagesiders. We appreciate everything. Our guest, Scott Kent. We'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And this guy, send your hate mail in.
Mayweather knocks him out in